for the young graduates and postgraduates and the students going to be graduated this year who are planning for a new startup. I welcome everyone for this event once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's my pleasure. It's my heartfelt pleasure to call upon the most eminent dynamic personality, Dr. V. Radhakrishnan, sir, Principal of KSRCAS, to deliver the presidential address.
Thank you, Musa. I think I'm audible. Am I?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Audible, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Respected Chairman, Vice Chairman, and our beloved Executive Directors in absentia, and the distinguished Chief Guest, our beloved friend, Professor Murugan, who has kindly consented to be with us. Thank you, sir. I must thank you because in your busy schedule, you have spared your time to be with us. And I'm sure that the takeaways that you are going to deliver today will be really, really helpful for our people. And this is the day of startups. And this is actually the students will be able to understand how they can make their ideas come out into shape and make it productive. And through your lecture, they can understand in what way they can actually safeguard their intellectual property, for which what they have to do, and legally how they can save their knowledge. And I'm sure that this session will be really helpful. And I once again thank Professor Murugan and also the IIC coordinators and also the participants, Dr. Prasanna and other people who are here to be with us for this session. I'm sure the session will be a really valuable session and it's going to be a good one. Thank you for the opportunity given to me. Good day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your nice wordings.
I feel happy to call upon Mr. S. Ramesh, sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, CA, to introduce our resource person.
Good afternoon. It's a immense pleasure on behalf of College of Arts and Science Autonomous. Introduce the chief guest, Professor Dr. Murugan Kasi, is business scientist and a teacher who had made significant contribution in the field of microbiology and biotechnology. He is currently working as a professor and head Department of Biotechnology in Manonmaniam Sundaranar University, Tirunelveli, Tamil Nadu. He is also serving as a syndicate and finance committee members of Manonmaniam Sundaranar University, Tirunelveli. Dr. Murugan Kasi has over 28 years experience in teaching and research in the field of microbiology, nanotechnology, and biotechnology. He started his career as a lecturer.
Ramesh sir, it is not audible. Please unmute your mic. Ramesh sir, please unmute your.
Sir, audible, sir? Sir, audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it is audible.
Okay, sir. Thank you. On behalf of KSR College of Arts and Science Autonomous, it's immense pleasure to introduce our today's chief guest, Professor Dr. Murugan Kasi. Professor Dr. Murugan Kasi is scientist and a teacher who have made significant contributions in the field of microbiology and biotechnology. He is currently working as a professor and head Department of Biotechnology in Manonmaniam Sundaranar University, Tirunelveli. He is also served as a syndicate and finance.
Thank you, sir. I feel proud to invite the most dignified and vibrant personality, Dr. K. Murugan, sir, Professor and Head Department of Biotechnology, Manonmaniam Sundaranar University in Tirunelveli, to take over this valuable session.
Sir,
Hello.
sir, excuse me, sir. Now it is unmuted, sir. Now it is audible.
Good afternoon. Before starting this session, I just wanted to record my sincere thanks to the chairman of KSR institutions, Lion Dr. K.S. Rangasamy, MJF, and our vice chairman, Dr. Sneevasan, our executive director, Mrs. Kavita Srinivas, our beloved principal, Dr. Radhakrishnan, and the ICC organizing secretaries, my dear good friend Dr. Prabhu Shankarlal, and other members of ICC for giving me this wonderful opportunity after a long period. Shall I share my slides?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Is it visible, Dr. Lal?
Yes, sir. It is visible. The slide is visible.
Okay, good, good. So let me start my presentation. Today I'm going to discuss about the intellectual property rights for startups. Before this one, I just wanted to
Sir, please unmute your mic, sir.
first I want to thank the person who introduced me. Very nice. Of course, he has given everything about me. But I want to introduce the audience, myself, who I am, and why I am here. The introducer gave me all the information, but I want to highlight here. I am also an alumni of the KSR College of Arts and Science in terms of my PhD. I joined the KSR institutions in the year 1996 with raw MSc degree. With the lovable support of our chairman and other members of our KSR Education Institute, I registered my PhD in the year 1998 and I got my degree in the year 2002. At the time, getting PhD degree is really it's a tough one, and that too, I am a microbiologist, and in my area, getting that degree is really a toughest one. So in that sense, I have to thank. Once again, I'm thanking all the members of our KSR Education Institution. This is important one because getting PhD degree is a very, very important one because I'm the first graduate from my village. Of course, I'm also the first graduate who came out of my village towards job search. So being a raw candidate, I don't know anything about the professional behaviors, professional ladder. So I learned number of things from the KSR College of Arts and Science. I'm purposefully mentioning that thing here because most of the attendees of this webinar may not know the resources available in our KSR institutions. You really are blessed and you have empty number of resources. If you are exploring that resources, you will come up like anything. And today is actually era for startups. At the KSR institutions, when I worked there in the KSR institution in the year 1999, we conducted one workshop on biofertilizers. After attending that workshop, nearly about 4 startups came up at the time itself. That is in the year 2000 itself, through the trainings we gave. We are very successful in initiating 4 startups. The persons who attended the training, they themselves started 4 startups, and one person was till now so successful in commercializing and marketing biofertilizers, especially in Nilgiri and other areas. I'm mentioning here because we are going to talk about the IP rights of startups. I'm a little bit deviating myself from the topics given because I just wanted to sensitize the attendees about the opportunities available in KSR institutions towards startups. If you are exploring your faculty members and if you are exploring the resources available in KSR institutions, definitely you will become a good entrepreneur. You can easily start a simple startups. This is about my connection and my association with the startups, my earlier associations. Now I'm going to tell you why I'm here. How can I qualify myself for this presentation? Again, for this also, I just wanted to thank the KSR management who has given me an opportunity in the year 2000 itself. I'm going to list out the organizations which are going to provide the IPR right trainings. In the year 2000 itself, I joined the WIPO, World Intellectual Property Right Organization, Geneva. Hello. 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 Am I audible?
Audible, sir. Audible, sir. Please
Yeah, I'm
continue.
getting some disturbances in between. That is why I'm
Okay, sir,
asking
I
you.
can take it, sir. Nothing, sir. You continue,
Okay.
sir, please.
Good. So when I joined through that intellectual property right course offered by the WIPO, I got first international certificate. Of course, the WIPO, they sent director from Geneva to my address, and that was the first intellectual property right certificate I got. Using that certificate, I got some exposure to the intellectual property right applications in biotechnology, and fairly I'm doing something. So this is about my qualifications regarding the IPR. the course which I mentioned here is still available in the distance mode by the WIPO, World Intellectual Property Right Organization. And if you are doing that course and if you are successfully completing that course, you will get a very good certificate from the WPIO. They will send a printed certificate to your destination. Yeah, now you can slowly move towards the presentation. So first, we will see what is actually intellectual property. Intellectual property is nothing but the legal rights given to the inventor or creator or company to protect their invention or creation and intangible assets owned for a certain period of time. An intangible asset is a non-physical asset that a company or person owns. In short, intellectual means relating to the human intellect, mind. Property is something that one wants, and rights a legal claim. So this is an important area for any startup. We all know startup at the beginning might have invented lot of intellectual mind, the creations of the persons who were created that startup, which needs to be protected or which needs to be harvested for getting the due benefits. So naturally, every startup should understand the importance of intellectual property rights and its influence on the evolution of the startups. Before going further, I just wanted to give you examples for IPR. The intellectual property rights, it has so many subdivisions, which includes the patents, domain names, industrial designs, and the confidential information pertaining to that particular industry or startup, inventions made by the startup, and moral rights the startup owns, its database rights, works of authorships, service marks, logos, trademarks, design rights, business or trade names, commercial secrets, and computer softwares. These are some of the examples of IPR. Any startup, it may use one or more IPR, which I have listed here. The startup should know the significance of IPR because it encourages new creations, which includes technology, artwork, and inventions that might increase economic growth. It increases the incentives for individuals to continue to produce the things that further create job opportunities and new technologies, the basics of faster improvement and the evolution of any startup. So in short, the IPR are like any other property rights which are intangible in nature. The IPR usually gives the creator an exclusive right over the use of his creation for a certain period of time. And this is very, very important one because the rapid increase in the globalization and opening of new vistas in India, the intellectual capital become one of the key wealth drivers in the present area. There are different country-specific legislations as well as international laws and treaties that govern IP rights, especially for the startups. Every startup, I told you, startup, in the beginning, it is the ideation, creation, and its implementation. So naturally, the startup has its own IP rights, intellectual property rights, which needs to understand and protect itself from the competitors. Every startup uses number of IPR. I told you, either the trade name, brand, logo, advertisements, inventions, designs.
So please unmute your mic, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry. Again, I'm repeating. The startups have number of IP rights which needs to be understand and protect for excelling in its business. Every startup uses a trade name, brand, logo, advertisements, inventions, designs, products, or a website in which it possesses a valuable IP. Right. While protecting our own IP rights, we should be very careful in the IP rights of others. We should not violate, or we should not infringe any violations or IP rights given to our competitors or other uh, persons in the same area, knowingly or unknowingly. So these are only some of the areas which the startups needs to understand. So this understanding is essential not only to understand the business environment, the IP rates available for them, and the uh, business opportunities available through that IP rates, but also protect itself for excelling in its business. So this is the importance of IP rights available for the startups. So
Sir, please unmute your mic, sir.
the IP rates of startups, they can be categorized into 5 important categories: the patent, copyright, trade secret, trademarks, and industrial designs. I can explain these things one by one. A patent is used to prevent an invention from being created, sold, or used by another party without permission. The most common type of IPR that comes to people's mind when they think of IPR protection, uh, a patent owner, because the patent owner has every it's
Sir,
very, very
please
important
unmute
for the startups which creates. The next one is actually copyright, which is nothing but a legal term describing rights given to creators for their literary and artistic works. It covers literary works such as novels, poems, plays, reference works, newspapers, and computer programs. database.
Sir, please unmute your mic, sir. It's not audible.
I'm sorry, I don't know why it
No, no.
happens. It happens like anything, right? The next one is actually trade secret. It may be considered as a confidential business information that provides an enterprise a competitive edge. Usually, these are manufacturing and industry secrets and commercial secrets. Next comes a trademark or another familiar type of IPR production, which is a distinctive design that allows consumers to identify the particular goods or services a company provides. Now we can go from the last one, trademarks. The trademark is the important one which gives identity for a for any startup. For example, if we are landing in if we are boarding and landing in Tirunelveli, you can see a number of startups or a number of shops. They may have a board like Shanti original Alva, Shanti so and so, so and so, so and so. Means Tirunelveli is known for its own Alva, and the Shanti sweets are the important producers. They were very successful in producing a tasty alva. Naturally, all its competitors nowadays they are using the trade name Sandhi here and there. But we have only one original Sandhi sweets in Tirunelveli. So next comes trade secrets. Again, I'm using Alva only. Tirunelveli, I told you it's known for its own Alva. Here we have one special Alva maker, Irtikade Alva. Though the other business peoples, they are producing tasty Alva, none can match with the Alva from Irtikade. Nobody knows how they are manufacturing, how they are producing Alva. So that is the trade secret. They are maintaining even traditions together. Now we come to the copyright. Again, copyright is a right which protects number of the creators nowadays. Recently, you would have seen the controversies ringing around our maestro, Isanani Ilayaraja. Earlier, he has not claimed the copyrights for his own music, and when he applied for the copyright, when he got the legal rights, everybody they reacted like anything. Of course, the copyrights they can be claimed even after a number of years that we have witnessed through the Ilayaraja copyright claim, and it can be held with the holder even after the death of the original creators, even after 60 years. So that is the legal binding the copyrights gives to the owner. And the last one, which I have listed here, is the a patent. Nowadays, all our creations, they needs to be patented. Of course, the science peoples, they may have a problem with these patent filing patents, because whenever they come out with their significant invention, whenever they communicate,
So please unmute your audio, sir.
sir, why this happens like anything? Okay, now we can discuss about the patent. The patent is an important one which every startup should use, because every startup may have a unique uh, process or product, and that unique process or product, they have to be patented, otherwise they may lose a significant outcome from their own creation. So these are all the important the aspects of IPR available for startups. Once again, I list these IPR rights, the trademark which I told you, the patents, the copyrights and related rights, the industrial rights, and the trade secrets. These are all the important IPR rights available for the startups. To make the audience aware about these things, I'm displaying here the most successful patent and its example, the light bulb. Thomas Alva Edison is one of the most successful patent right holder in the history. His work still left a significant mark on the world. The light bulb is one of the most famous inventions. In the year 1879, he filed a patent design of light bulb. The light bulb came as a substitute for candle at the time. The invention of light bulb has changed the way we lived and became one of the famous patents we all know. This is an important one we should understand. For life science students, they will appreciate me if the inventions of Carey Miller, the PCR, if it is patented, now the entire world cannot move. What I'm trying to tell me, of course, recent pandemic, it might have given you number of experiences. You might have used number of diagnostic procedures. All the diagnostic procedures, all this COVID sampling and all of the things are based on the PCR, polymerase chain reactions. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I can say, Caris Miller, he has not patented his invention. That is why the COVID testing, everything is freely or easily available to all the peoples around the world. So this much, of course, if Carey Muller has patented his own PCR, today his generations would be the most valuable beneficiaries around the world. So that much significance the patents they have. Here I'm giving you some examples for trademark. The trademarks we all know. Once registered, the symbol or a series of words can be used by any other organization or forever long. It remains in use and proper work and fees paid. These are only some of the trademarks we are used to come across, for starting from Yahoo, Google, editors, like that. So the trademarks it tells about its products, and because of that goodwill, the trademark it possesses its own significance. The trademarks they obtains from all the consumers around the world. Then when the startups they should know the importance of trade secrets and its IPR rights. The formula or the recipe is kept secret and not known to others. That is a trade secret. It must be economically valuable and maintain reasonable efforts to maintain secrets. I have listed here some of the examples of Coca-Cola and KFC chicken. Though the product Coca-Cola or Pepsi or like any other international drinks, though it is available around the world, nobody knows what it contains and what is this trade secret behind it, like that. So that unavailability of trade secrets, it keeps them uncompetitive in the market. At the same time, none of its competitors they compete them successfully. So that is the importance of trade secret, and every startup definitely it may have its own trade secret. It should be uh, properly legalized. Now we can slowly see the differences between copyright, patent, and trademark. Copyright protects others are expressed in various tangible forms, which included books, works of art, songs, and movies. Copyright protection usually extends 70 years beyond the author's natural life. So I told you the copyright, they can give very good protection, APR protection to the owner. It can be extended even 70 years beyond the author's natural life. Next comes the patent. It protects new inventions such as manufactured items, machines, industrial processes, and chemical compositions. The interval of protection is dependent on the type of patent given. A design patent usually lasts for 14 years, while a plant and utility patent lasts for 20 years. So, when you are going for patenting your IPR, you will get maximum of 20 years protection. And the next comes the trademarks. A trademark protects symbols, words, designs, and phrases that identify products made by different parties. The trademarks apply to logos, brand name, or slogans. They do not expire and usually last until the owner recovers them. So here, the startup, they have to understand the time period and the applicability of these important three IPRs. Regarding the trademark, which is very, very important one for any business nowadays. I'll give you a simple example. When I was there in Riyadh, everybody knows it is very good in its non-vegetarian food. Everywhere you are going, if you are going means you will get all the types of non-vegetarian foods. naturally the people living in Riyadh, they wanted some kind of vegetarian food. The famous Lulu Mall, Hara, one of the biggest business establishment there in Riyadh, they opened our Saravana Bhavan hotel there. So hearing that news, myself and my friends, we went there and they asked us to get the token. We were in the queue around 12 noon and we got our token around 12:30. That much long queue. They asked, after even getting the token, they asked us to wait. They told when getting the token, they also got our mobile number. And they told, okay, sir, be there in the Lulu Mall. We will call you after the seats are vacant or your turn comes. To my surprise, we got the call only around 4:30. That means for getting a vegetarian food from the famous trademark owner Saravana Bhavan, we waited up to 5 hours. See, the brand name, its value. So that much value any brand it has. So the startups, they need to be very careful in patenting their trade name registration and its further utility. I have already given this information. The duration of IPR, the term of every patent will be 20 years from the date of filing of patent, irrespective of whether it is filed with provisional or complete specification. The date of patent is the date on which the application for patent is filed. Because this is very, very important, because we cannot get patent immediately after filing. It may take, sometimes it may take even years together, but whatever may be thing, uh, you will get the rights even from the date of the application filed. Then the term trademark registration is for 10 years from the date of making the application, which is deemed to be the date of registration. This is very important one. Trademark registration is very, very important one, because we can use the word at R only after getting this trademark registration. Then copyright, it generally lasts for 60 years. Then the trade secret, which can be protected for an unlimited period of time, but a substantial element of secrecy must exist, so that except by the improper means, there would be difficulty in acquiring the information. Trade secrets, it is actually the important one, which has to be maintained in a strict manner. Uh, Nobody knows till now the trade secret behind our Talapakati biryani. Though the Talapakati biryani is available everywhere in Tamil Nadu, nobody knows the secret of Talapakati biryani. So like that, you should, the startups, they have to maintain their trade secret. While coming to the trainings, we should know the organizations which are giving these trainings. The important one is World Trade Organization, which is the controller of all these patent, all these IP related things. Of course, they give legal protection and legal trainings for these IPR. And the next, I told you in the beginning, World Intellectual Property Right Organization. They have number of courses, both on-site as well as distance mode courses, and these courses will give you a good introduction and a fairly good exposure towards the intellectual property rights for any startups. The next one is the EPO. Like that, number of other organizations are also there at the international level. India also, we have our own governmental organization which gives a number of trainings for the intellectual property things. So again, once again, I will conclude the intellectual property rights. Every startup should know. Every startup should know the IPR rights available for them in terms of their trademarks, in terms of the patents for their processes or the products, the copyrights and other related things, even for branding or even for its commercialization through the advertisements and other things. Then the industrial designs. Industrial designs are nothing but the ornaments like designing given to our products, and finally the trade secrets. So these are the important areas any startup it gives. Finally, the intellectual property rights is granted to us to protect our intellectual works, inventions, and the creative designs. We should create our mind to find new inventions rather than using other inventions, because while protecting our rights, we should not uh, infringe others' rights. So the technology has made the job for creator easy and also made the job of copier easy too. Use the law and rights to protect your own inventions, and which is very, very, very important one for the startups at the beginning. So with this, I can conclude my discussion on this IPR. Now I can invite the questions from you. If you want to clarify anything, you please shoot up your questions.
Good evening, sir. Hello, good evening, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, I am S.U. Gokul. I am MBA student, sir. Sir, I have doubt in trade secret, sir.
Trade?
Secret.
Okay, okay, okay. Yes. Your voice is not that much clear one. Hello. I'm not getting the question.
Sir,
Hello.
sir, I have in doubt in trade secret, sir. How to product the trade secret, sir? In new technology, sir.
Okay, okay. I told you, trade secrets includes any confidential business information which provides an enterprise a competitive edge over others. The trade secrets encompass manufacturing, industrial secrets, or commercial secrets, formula, practice, process, design, instrument, pattern, commercial method, or compilation of information which is not generally known or reasonably ascertainable by other person. Means You have to, being a startup, you have to design, or you have to uh, uh, come out with a methodology to protect your own trade secret. For example, in when I contacted our Iritikade Alva, the owner himself, he is actually involved in manufacturing, or involved in cooking the alva. They used to prepare only certain amount of alva daily. He himself, he is actually involving in that preparation. He never allows his own servants to prepare that thing. Like that, the trade secrets, they should be maintained very strict. Of course, I told you in the beginning, we are all getting the Coca-Cola products and Pepsi products around the world with the same taste. Nothing is different, but nobody knows. Even though they are having bottling plant here and there, and one of the bottling plant is available in our uh, Erode industrial unit also, but nobody knows what is that contains. What are the chemicals they are using, what are all the combinations that chemicals they have. So that kind of secrecy has to be maintained. It's all depends upon the line of uh, protection you have in your startup. So it's very difficult for the startups to maintain the trade secret, but it's very important one for its survival. So being a owner or the topmost executives of that uh, startup, they should only know the secrecy of their trade, and it has to be uh, translated, or it has to be passed to the next level peoples, only confidential peoples. And for this, on an international level, they are maintaining very good secrecy. For example, on one of the Pepsi topmost executive, when he offered his secrecy to Coca-Cola company, they immediately passed that information to the Coca-Cola, Pepsi peoples, and they immediately sacked that topmost executive very recent. So that much, all the in industries, they are following at the top level, but for the startups, it's very difficult. So you have to be very careful. Uh, in my view, only the topmost officials should have that secrecy in their hands. Am I answered your question?
Yes, sir. This is very helpful to us, sir.
Thank you, thank you. Any other question?
Students, do you have any more questions? Okay, Devi, you can proceed, Devi. Sir, thank you very much for your valuable session, sir.
Okay, let me conclude. Let me conclude these things. So the startups, they should develop some strategies for protecting and exploiting their IPR rights. First, they have to make intellectual property protection a priority one, because being a startup, we are not giving that much attention to the IPR rights. We may be in the initial, we may be concentrating only on our product and marketing of that product, but we have to give due priority for protecting that IPR rights, then we have to register the IPR rights in a proper way. We have to approach the law forms, and we have to register the rights available for us in a proper way. Otherwise, we may lose our business, and we may succumb to the competitors' competition. While protecting our rights, we should be very careful in infringing others' rights. We should not use others' patented or other information. If at all, if you need any of these patents, we have to get proper permission from the owner, so that we should understand that we should be very careful. Then we have to implement clear and effective policies and strategies for protecting our IP rights. I think one girl, she has asked me this question. So we have to devise a clear and effective policies and strategies for maintaining our own secrets. So these are all the things we have to explore while discussing the startups IPR rights. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. You have given a wide information about IPR trade secrets on the session. It was very useful, sir. Once again, thank you so much, sir. I take immense pleasure to call upon Dr. P. Vanitha Ma'am, Head Department of Management Studies, PG, to propose vote of thanks.
Good evening to one and all connected here. On behalf of Institution's Innovation Council of KS Rangasamy College of Arts and Science Autonomous, it's my pleasure to propose vote of thanks for the MOE Innovation Cell AICTE sponsored Impact Lecture Series 2. First of all, IIC of KSRCAS is thankful to MOE Innovation Cell of AICTE for sponsoring this Impact Lecture Series on entrepreneurship and IPR. My sincere gratitude to our Honorable Chairman, Vice Chairman and Directors Madam in absentia. I extend my thanks to our most respected Principal, Dr. V. Radhakrishnan, for always guiding us to bring academic excellence of our students. I express my deep sense of gratitude to our today's guest speaker, Dr. K. Murugan, Professor and Head Department of Biotechnology, Manonmaniam Sundaranar University, Tirunelveli, for enlightening us on IPR for startups, which is very essential for the entrepreneurs nowadays. Thank you, sir, for connected with us today in your busy schedule. Really, the session was very useful for us, sir. I also thank Dr. K. M. Prabhu Shankarlal, President, Dr. G. Suresh Kumar, Vice President, and Mr. J. Tamil Selvan, Convener of IIC, and Dr. Suresh and Dr. Lata, Coordinators, for organizing the program in an excellent manner. I thank all the heads and faculty members and student participants from various departments. Once again, I thank one and all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
sir.
ma'am.